So you're thinking about moving to Sandy, Utah, and you want to know more about it? Well, you found the right video because I'm going to share with you the 10 best things about living in Sandy, Utah. Stay tuned. If this is your first time to the channel, I'm a licensed real estate agent and active agent here in the Salt Lake City area, and this channel is everything that you need to know about working, eating, sleeping, playing, and living in the Salt Lake City, Utah area. If you're after that, then click the subscribe button and the bell to be notified every time I do new videos. We hear from people just like you all the time about looking to move or relocate or looking to buy or sell here in Utah, and we absolutely love it. So if you're making that move in a week or a month or even a year, feel free to give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, as we'd love to hear from you. Number one is the location, and what I love best about Sandy is where it is in relation to Salt Lake City. It is 15 minutes to the airport, 15 minutes up to Salt Lake City. The airport is really, really awesome too, as it's super easy to get get in, out of, to fly out of, to meet people that you're picking up from it, all of that. You even have great food choices in the airport to eat if you're stuck there a little while. Well, if you have Concourse B, then you do have a little bit of a walk. So if you fly Southwest or some of Delta flights, you're flying Concourse B and you got about a mile walk. They do have moving walkways and wheelchair access, and then this cart thing that you can take as well. But here is Sandy on the map. All right, so here's Sandy here on the map. It's highlighted here in red. As you can see, Salt Lake City is up to the north. And then if I scroll out a little bit, you can see where Provo is to the south. And then all the way south is St. George down here, and even Las Vegas further down. And so when we're looking at the map, it's just south of Salt Lake, right off I-15. Pretty much that's your major route that you're going to be taking to get to Salt Lake. You can take State Street, but State Street's going to take you a long time, so you're going to want to avoid that for the most part. Other than I highly recommend you do it once, just so you know what all the different businesses, car places are, and all the other businesses that are on State Street. But you should drive up it at least once. There's a bunch of different restaurants and other shopping that's in Sandy that's on State Street, but that kind of gives you an idea of where Sandy is. Now, you got this canyon here that leads out to Ulta and Snowbird, and then you got this canyon right here that leads out to Solitude and Brighton. Brighton happens to be my favorite ski resort, but these are your 4 closest ski resorts. Then if you go up around the 215, out the 80, then you can get out here to Park City and Deer Valley Resort, and then out to Jordanelle State Park for one of the cool lakes. This lake here is really cool to go to. It's called Deer Creek Reservoir. So just know that that's available to you, but there's a bunch of different lakes you're going to be able to go to and enjoy. But Sandy is super close to Little Cottonwood Canyon. You even have the Bell Canyon waterfall that's, minutes away, but Little Cottonwood, and then this is Big Cottonwood as far as the canyons go. So hopefully that gives you an idea of where Sandy is on the map, what cities it's next to, and how far it is away from Salt Lake City. And once again, it's 15-20 minutes to Salt Lake, which is amazing. The number 2 best thing about living in Sandy, Utah is going to be your entertainment options. You have the Sandy Amphitheater, so they have a lot of cool events that go on in the Sandy Amphitheater. You have America First Field, which this is where the real Salt Lake play their soccer, or if you call it football, then they play that there. You have the Classic Fun Center, so you can take your kids roller skating, and those are kind of your major entertainment things that are in Sandy. There's other things that are right around it in Draper and other cities, but we're just talking about Sandy in this video. The number 3 cool thing about Sandy is going to be your ski resorts, snowboard resorts. I already touched on where those were on the map, but you have Ulta, Snowbird that are out Little Cottonwood, and they're less than 45 minutes away. You also have Solitude, Brighton, and they're roughly 45 minutes away. Can be a little quicker, a little slower, depends on traffic, and that is if you're going on a Saturday, Sunday, that's when you have the most traffic. And then Park City is 15 minutes further than that. So the ski resorts, you have 6 really cool ski resorts all within an hour drive of you. And then there's even more, as you can see here on the map, the different ski resorts all over Utah that you can go to, there are a ton of places for you to enjoy the snow. So you probably want to know what the home values are in Sandy right now. So let's take a look. Now, while the home value, home prices, and that wasn't one of my best things about Sandy, I just figured you'd want to see that to know what home prices are going to be before I go back to the best things about living in Sandy. So as you can see here on my website, thespackmangroup.com, you have $599 for a 4.3, $475, $619. This one looks really nice. $700, 6-bedroom, 3-bath. $929, $539, $624, $480. So you can see a bunch of different prices. This is sorted by newest, just to give you an idea of what's coming on the market. Here was a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, $319. So you do have some good hidden values in that. You just need to know about those ahead of time if you needed something like that. $595, $640s. So you're really going to be in the $500 to $700 range for most homes. If you want something bigger, you have a huge family, need the 7-bedroom, 5-bath, 4,000 square foot home, then you're looking at around $800s. And then you can get into the custom stuff at 1.3, 1.1, and then like this one is awesome for $4 million. So that kind of gives you an idea of what home prices are currently in Sandy. And now let's go back to the best things about living in Sandy. The number 4 best thing about living in Sandy would be the rankings. And so I'm going to open up niche.com real quick and we'll talk through those rankings with you. So I have Sandy open here, the number 19 in best suburbs to live in Utah. Overall, niche.com gives Sandy an A- ranking. I would go ahead and agree with that ranking. Sandy is amazing. It's one of the cities we almost moved to when we moved here to Utah. It's got an A- for public schools, B for housing, A- good for families, A- for jobs, C- cost of living, A for outdoor activities, A+ really for outdoor activities, C+ crime and safety, B nightlife, B+ diversity, B- weather, A health and fitness, and B+ for commute. More rankings. Best suburb for young professionals, number 8 of 73. A suburb with the best public schools, 17 of 73. And best suburb to live in Utah, 19 of 73. Here's your crime and safety stats according to niche.com. So those are your rankings according to niche.com. I would agree with most of them. Anyone that I've helped look in Sandy has absolutely loved it, whether you're a single person, you have a family, you have kids, or you're retired and the kids are out of the nest. All of those people are in Sandy, Utah. You're going to find lots of different people from different walks of life. Sandy is one of the more diverse cities that you have in the Salt Lake City area. So just know that that's something to know about. The 5th best thing about living in Sandy, Utah is the shopping and entertainment. So you have the shops at Southtown Mall. So this mall, well, every time I've been there haven't been a lot of people in the mall. It's been pretty dead, except during the holiday time of year. For the most part, I haven't really ever been on a Friday or Saturday night to see if it's busy then. But just whenever I've been, it's been pretty unbusy. Not a lot of people there. They do have a food court. They have a Japanese place in there that serves some chicken with rice that I like. So I'll go there every now and then just to get some food. And then depending upon where I park at the mall, I can get an idea of how busy it is. It does have a Home Goods at the mall, so my wife will shop there. And so we end up going there at least once a month for her to look at different stuff that they have there. Food choices around the mall and in Sandy that are good would be Texas Roadhouse, Via 313 Pizza, so that's Detroit-style deep dish pizza, which I think is pretty good. Although if you don't think so, comment below, or if you agree, comment below. I haven't found another place in Salt Lake City yet that has deep dish like Chicago pizza that's good. So if there is one, love to hear about it and we'll go try it. They have a Potbelly sandwich place. So this is a different place to eat like Subway or Jersey Mike's, but it's a different sandwich. So that's pretty cool. I first ate there when I went to a convention in Dallas and they had one. Now my wife mentioned they had one there. And so we went and tried it. Pretty good food. We'll eat there every now and then. They have an Olive Garden, which you know what Olive Garden is. They have a Krispy Kreme, and you've probably eaten Krispy Kreme before. Holy cow, I didn't know a dozen donuts is $16 now, but that's what it is. They have a Chili's in there and a few other little places, but those are the major food places in Sandy that I would recommend. And then they have this Japanese steakhouse place that's pretty good that we go to from now and again. And then Sandy also has a really good takeout Chinese food place that we go to. And so that's the shops and the restaurants in Sandy. You have your other normal shops and restaurants, but I just touched on a few. The number 6 best thing about living in Sandy is all the parks. So there are a ton of different parks for you to go to. There's one called Dimpledale Regional Park, where I did a video on when I was in the parking lot and it happened to be snowing that day. But the Dimpledale Regional Park is huge. It has horseback riding. It's awesome. So it's something to check out. They have Lone Peak Park, Flatiron Mesa Park, Falcon Park, Big Bear Park. There are just a ton of parks that you're going to be able to go to and take your kids to when living in Sandy. That's why that's number 6. The number 7 best thing about living in Sandy, Utah is the schools and the school district here. You have public and private. And then you have charter schools. There's a bunch of different options for schooling here. And everything that I have read online says the schools are really good in Sandy. So that's something that you can be aware of. And we can touch on that when you reach out to me as well. The number 8 cool thing about living in Sandy, Utah is the golf courses. So there are 4 golf courses in Sandy. No other city has this many golf courses for you to pick from. So if you are a golfer, you got 4 to pick from. You got River Oaks Golf Course, you got Pebblebrook Golf Course, you have Hidden Valley Country Club, and then Willow Creek Country Club. So you got 2 country clubs to pick from if you want that sort of lifestyle as well. But those are amazing for you to look at, and hopefully you love to golf, or maybe you'll take it up if you choose Sandy. The number 9 best thing about living in Sandy, Utah is that it has established neighborhoods, mature trees. There isn't a ton of new construction. There is some, but most of Sandy is already built out, so you kind of know what you're going to get with Sandy. The traffic should stay about the same. So when you drive through it at the different times of day, Sandy isn't going to change traffic-wise because it's already built out, where other cities like where I'm at in Harriman, traffic can only get worse because it's still not completely built out, and we got to deal with more road construction and other things that they're going to be doing. And then they constantly are digging up the street to run new cable or something that somebody forgot to build this new subdivision. And in Sandy, all of that's already done. So that's a really cool thing about Sandy is the established neighborhoods. And the 10th best thing about living in Sandy, Utah is all of the outdoor stuff and hiking that you get to do. So if you're a hiker or you're like me and you move to Utah and then you become a hiker, Sandy is a great city because of Little Cottonwood Canyon being so close to you. You could be out there in 15, 20 minutes. So say you work all day in Salt Lake, you catch the track system back home, and then you want to hit a trail. So you can grab a bite to eat and then go hit a trail and be home by dark, which is awesome. So that you have available. And then all the camping and fishing and everything else that you're going to be able to do out the canyons is awesome. This is one of the best things about living in Utah is being able to enjoy all the outdoors. And because of the weather that we have, once it gets May, June, and it starts to warm up, all the way through October, you're able to really enjoy being outside since it's not humid. So it feels really nice to be outside at night, enjoy your backyard patio, put a little fire pit out there, and just sit and relax. So hopefully you really get to enjoy and love the outdoors like I have after moving here. I already like to fish and hunt and that sort of thing, but by living here in Utah, now I want to do it even more. And now I see why people really, really are into the outdoors here. So that's number 10. Hopefully these are good reasons for you to make that move to Sandy, Utah, or another city here in the Salt Lake City area. And I'd love to help you. So please reach out to me, give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. And let's talk about Sandy, Utah, and any other city that you want to talk about and get you on your way to moving here. Until next time, be rad.